Running with the runners. 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 Running with the runners.
Good evening, runners. It's Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. We continue to keep winning. Excited. Have an awesome show for you guys tonight. Sorry we're a little late. Had some technical difficulties. As always, I got the man, the myth, the legend here, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. Mims, making it make sense. What's going on, brother?
Fired up and excited as always, brother. Fired up and excited as always. Man, 2026 starting off with a bang, and we just getting started. Just getting started, folks, man. Fired up. How you, brother? How you doing? What's going on?
Mims, this is like going on 6 weeks in a row, I swear. Every time we go live, we basically have new highs in gold and silver. Everything we've been teaching about for the last 7 years is coming to fruition. So I'm having a great time. Excited to share all the new information about crypto going mainstream tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People got to stay ahead of the curve right now. Trust me, right now is not the time to go to sleep, put your head in the sand, get distracted, get depressed. A lot of events taking place really fast. So I hope you guys are ready. Keep your head in a swivel. Pay attention. And, yeah, get ready because it's the time.
Gold at an official new all-time high, $5,232, $36.3 trillion market cap. Silver almost at its all-time high. It did go up to 115. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But again, 6.44 trillion up. Bro, this is silver a crypto now? Up 25% in a week? Are you kidding me?
That's insane. People who've been in this market never thought that they would see silver move like this and do these numbers. We are in a twilight zone, folks. But I mean, it's a very exciting time for those who hold in assets, like silver and gold. And, it's going much higher, folks. I'm just telling you right now, they tried to smack it down. I think we saw it hit like 117, headed to 120. And I mean, the swings that we're seeing is what, trillions of dollars swings or market cap. And I mean, just a lot of money they're throwing at this market right now, but silver's going much higher. They can't stop it. The dynamics and everything. Forget your chart. Forget your technical analysis. Throw away your RSI. None of that is mattering right now when it comes to silver.
No, and what you were talking about, what happened, guys, is let me look at in the last week. Oh, that doesn't really help us. Look at that chart.
Right. Yeah, it's just up.
Okay, so this is only the 1 day. So what happened is silver went to like 115. This chart doesn't show up for some reason. And today was the delivery. I think it was around 3 p.m. So they pushed the price down as much as they could. But as soon as that delivery came, it went right back up. So, I think we hit 115, which we're basically at right now. So basically all-time high for gold and silver once again on a Tuesday night during the Runners Live.
Yeah, and if you wanted to try to chart it, look at that. It's a beautiful double bottom at 106, and then it took off. Found its little resistance level back at 112, stayed there, and then now we're off to the next level. Folks, it's going higher, but I'm telling you right now, I'm still buying. Okay? I'm still buying. I bought at 106. I bought about maybe $1,500 worth at 106. I mean, here's the thing. It's still a savings vehicle. This is not like, oh, you're buying the top of investment where, it could crash, or something like that. Gold and silver is always going to have value. It will always have value. And in the environment that we're in right now, with the dollar is losing massive amounts of value, which even the president of the United States is for. So understand where we're going, folks. Those who hold on to cash, valuing their wealth in dollars, I feel sorry for you.
Yep. And Mims, I came across this and they suggested printing them out. Like there's 4 of the same thing on the page. And it's showing you the value of 90% silver coins, which for most of these are pre-1964. So you can see now, here's where we're at. Even if we just say we're at 110, right? That means a quarter, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, is about worth $20. So think about this, guys. This is, what year was this one?
That's
A
crazy.
1959 quarter.
Nice.
Okay, so this is 90% silver.
Mm.
This quarter, which was 25 cents when we had real money, is now worth $20. So again, Mims, think about this. The minimum wage back then was about $1. I think it was $1.25, but let's just call it $1.
Mm.
So 4 quarters was $1. That was your minimum wage. If we still had real money, sound money, if we weren't just creating dollars out of thin air, these 4 quarters that somebody earned for minimum wage in the 60s would be $80. $80 minimum wage.
Mm.
I think most people could live on $80 right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. $8 an hour. Oh man, it's crazy. I mean, 25-cent quarter worth $20. People just got to stop and think and start to say, what the hell is going on with the money?
Yep.
How is it that a quarter is worth $20 today? And when you figure that out, you'll figure out the secret to wealth. It's real value. It's money. It's that silver that we talk about. And it's just crazy that something that says it's 25 cents is actually worth about $20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, to make it even crazier, guys, is you have to understand the silver market is broken right now, okay? Because it's still fake and people don't know what's going on. So right now in China, it's actually already up to $128 an ounce, right? And this is what's really changing the game is the East, China, and Shanghai actually has semi-real prices, whereas London is fixed and it's the bankers. So we've never seen this before, guys. We have like a $14 difference in silver from London to Shanghai because the game they've been playing for the last 180 years of suppressing the price of silver is collapsing in real time.
Yeah, I mean, and that disparity, that spread is going to continue because the West is chasing the East now.
Yep.
The East is setting the standard. They're setting the price, and the price is much higher because the demand is beyond what we can supply. And so we're going to continue to see that. And then here in the U.S., because of the rigging, the fraud, and manipulation, them keep trying to smack it down to cover the banks. Listen, the banks are in trouble. Okay, the banks are in trouble, and they're not getting bailed out. I'm telling you right now, Trump right now is suing J.P. Morgan. You think he's going to bail them out? You think they're getting a bailout? Oh no, no bailout for the banks this time. Now be careful though, because they do got bail-ins. That's why we tell your money, telling people get your money about them banks. Keep enough in there to pay some bills. Go ahead, Mike.
So this blew me away, Mims. I mean, we talk about this all the time, but to hear a reputable source publish it again, purchasing power of $100 in a savings account since 2020 is worth $70 today. The dollar down 30% in 5 years. Assets are the only hedge to fiat's perpetual bear market, which is what we always say. The one true economic certainty we know is the value of the dollar, and all fiat-based currencies will continue to decline versus real assets that are limited and scarce like gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
And in that same time period, how much an ounce of silver was in 2020? About $25, $30. And how much is an ounce of silver now? So it was at a 3, 6, 9, 3x almost, 4x on your money coming up here.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I'm looking at this now. 5 years ago, silver has gained 320%. The dollar has lost 30%. So you're looking at about a 357% gain if you got real money like silver versus keeping it in the fake fiat dollars they keep printing. All right, guys. So we're gonna shift. Oh wait, let me. Yeah.
It's crazy work, and it's. Can you,
All right. I thought this was amazing, Mims, because we talked about this. The new batteries use massive amounts of silver. Samsung is buying their own silver mines. So Mexico Silver will deliver the first $100 billion worth of silver to Samsung and U.S. electrical vehicle or solar manufacturing companies. Samsung predicts the pure price of silver at 350 by 2028, and silver's demand is growing massively. I think we'll get there before 2028, but
oh yeah,
who knows?
yeah. I mean, so folks, I mean, just like Samsung, obviously solid state batteries, and Samsung is not the only company that's doing solid state batteries. Okay, other companies still need silver. This whole Nvidia with the chips, Tesla. I mean, other companies need silver, folks. Like, there's not a lot of it, and the demand is increasing. Like I said, we've been in a 4-year deficit, and now you have Main Street. I don't know, Mike, you might put it up, but I mean, there's minimums that companies are allowing, retail to even get silver. I mean, the demand is just going crazy from industry to retail to even governments around the world. I think even Saudi Arabia and other labeled it strategic along with the US. They have to get the silver. So, we just in a world that we've never seen before. History has never seen this before. We're living in really unique, uncharted territory. And, that's why we're trying to let people know, share this information out, help people become aware of what's really going on and how serious this situation is, because I think a lot of things that people are dealing with and considering are irrelevant to the macro situation that we're dealing with right now globally with the financial system.
Yeah, and so we're just going to give you guys some more proof and evidence and document crypto and blockchain coming to the mainstream. We talked last week about how Steak and Shake is paying some of the hourly wage. It's kind of like a bonus for their workers. Now, they've already bought some, but they're buying another $5 million worth of Bitcoin for their strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, Mims, we're not talking about Wall Street. We're not talking about hedge funds. We're talking about Steak and Shake is buying Bitcoin. And they're not the only ones doing it. There's a lot more.
Yeah, that's crazy. Little private company, Steak and Shake Steak. Okay. Folks, it's a sign. I mean, because now we're talking about, once again, it's a finite supply of Bitcoin.
Yep.
And you're talking about more demand for an asset, and what happens to that? What happens to the price? When you have massive demand and very low supply, price got to go up. So, yeah.
And I think this is what we've been waiting for, Mims. And I think right now, way more institutions are buying than we even know. But the SEC and the CFTC Project Crypto event is scheduled for this Thursday. It was supposed to be last week, but it got canceled because of all the snowstorms in the middle of the country. This event is to discuss their efforts to deliver on President Trump's promise to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. So I think that's all we're waiting for, is for regulation and clarity for the markets to really start pumping, and all the big money that's buying right now will kind of be exposed. I believe they're keeping it down on the down low. They're suppressing the price so that they can get as much of it as they can before the average retail starts coming in.
Yeah, they're rewriting the rules right now. Trump's going to do a decree, okay? And the banking system's going to crash. We're going to see major chaos, and they're going to roll everything into stable coins. We're going to have a new American dollar. It's going to be backed by real world assets. The reset is here, folks. I don't know how you think it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And it's not going to be pretty for everybody. It's not, but this is what's happening. So they're doing these events, and they're letting people know we're going to be the crypto capital world. They're getting ready to move everything on chain so that the system can continue to function, because this is the opposition wants the system to collapse with it. Okay. But we're putting in the mechanisms for the system to continue to exist. And listen, blockchain isn't going anywhere. The internet isn't going anywhere.
No.
Okay, but the banks and the debt-based fiat system is going somewhere. It's going away. Okay, it's losing credibility, and we're seeing that everything is getting ready to move on chain. So this is why it's important that you have these assets and be informed and put yourself in position to capitalize, because it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. We're going to see some stuff people never thought they'd ever seen or hear.
And this is where the big flip will take place, is when people start to use crypto and blockchain and they don't even know it. And Coinbase, the #1 exchange, their CEO, Brian Armstrong, says at some point, all the haters will be using crypto and they won't even realize it. And I just thought of this, Mims, when it comes to Texit and what we're doing with the downtown digital dollars. Like, as that rolls out, it's structured to where people will be using the Texit blockchain. They won't even know it. They'll be acting just like they're at Dave & Buster's, using a card at this fair and festival, buying some hot dogs and pop. They'll think it's just, oh, this is just another debit card. But they're actually using the blockchain for transactions rather than that money going to Visa, MasterCard, and the banks, right? It's coming back to the utility and the people who were smart enough to get into blockchain and crypto and understand how these difficult things work.
Yeah, folks. And I mean, that's why it's important that you understand the transition, because people are going to be using it, but those same people could be capitalizing off of it if they just knew. So that's why it's important. That's why I say, you don't know what you don't know, and you won't know unless somebody tell you. And we're trying to tell people right now, the best thing to start doing is mining crypto. Put yourself in a position to receive digital assets every single day to your decentralized wallet for the rest of your life. Okay. Put yourself in position to capitalize on these massively undervalued digital assets that are critical to the global financial system for payments. Okay. Acquire the real world resources and minerals that the world needs to function. Talking about the silver, copper, the gold. It's not hard.
And Mims, I just thought of this. Like, think about it, guys. If you're in your 30s, 40s, you were kind of grew up where internet wasn't a big thing, and now we live where like the internet is everything. But how many people really made money off of the internet, going from zero to billions of people? I mean, maybe if you bought Google, I guess you could buy some Apple, right? But for the most part, I don't know of anyone who's like, oh, I just got rich because of the internet. You can point to Mark Cuban or like a handful of tech entrepreneurs. Yeah. But average, ordinary people, I don't know one person who's like, oh, I just made so much money off the internet and, I'm retired and I'm just living off this passive income. I don't know one normal person in my entire life I've ever met who said, oh, I just made all this money off the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody who's using Facebook, but I don't know nobody who made it, who became rich off Facebook stock.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, not to say people didn't, obviously, but no, the wealth transfer and the accessibility and the way to get into these assets and the cost where they are now with blockchain is going to create more millionaires than any other invention ever created.
Well, love them or hate them, Trump family-backed American Bitcoin just bought $36 million of Bitcoin. Just happened today.
Yeah, they know the fiat currency is collapsing. Trump is very good at acknowledging that, hey, these problems were here before I got in. Just like he talks about the war with Russia. Hey, it wouldn't have happened. What Ukraine and all that. It's the same thing with the dollar. He's going to come out and say we should have never had a central bank. This is what Trump meant. Everybody wondered when they said, what does Trump mean when he said make America great? That's what he's talking about. America was great when we had control of our own money. And I know there's a lot of nuances in there, but just stay on topic when we talk about money, okay? We had a debt-free, interest-free money, okay? That was when America was great, and that's what Trump knows, and that's and the country ran on tariffs, and we had so much money.
Zero income tax.
Huh?
Zero income tax until 1913.
Income tax is not normal. Okay, Trump knows it. This is what they're getting ready for. Why do you think Trump is rolling back a lot of the taxes now? Talking about the money that we're bringing in from tariffs, going against the Federal Reserve right now, understanding what's going on with the dollar. They understand. They know this stuff. His administration knows what we're talking about. But it's a certain way they got to roll it out. And the timing of his presidency was perfect because it's the collapse of the central bank, the debt-based system. It's over with. And when people are becoming more consciously aware of public enemy number one. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what color, what age. United States, the Federal Reserve is public enemy number one. This debt-based fiat model. We should not be money, have them create money from nothing and then tax us on it. It's criminal this whole time, but it's coming to an end. Change is coming.
And people just have to shift their mindset. This next clip I want us to watch here is from Anthony Pomp. And I just want you guys to hear it from somebody else. Like Mims and I say this all the time, right? But if you believe in an asset, you want to buy when it's low, right? So I'm going to transpose this onto those of us in the Texit community. Everyone was rushing in to buy miners, rushing in to buy tokens when Texit was going from $2 to $3 to $4 to $5 to $6. Well, guys, you got a second chance here with Texit under $1. And so Anthony or Pomp, talks about this when it comes to Bitcoin. It's the same thing, guys. You make the money when you buy it down low, not when it's high.
In fact, I think that Bitcoin may be even more interesting sitting at $87,000 than it was at $126,000. If you love Bitcoin at 125K, you should love it at 87. But that's not how humans usually think. They tend to look at assets and say, well, this one's going up, so let me go buy it. And then when assets are going down, they usually are like, well, I don't like that. It's not working. But as we know, maybe the great Charlie Munger quote, the big money's not made in the buying and the selling. It's made in the waiting. And I think that's what Bitcoiners are realizing, is that if you continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin or any great asset, you hold it for a long time and just let the asset do what it was intended to do. It usually will turn out just fine. In fact,
it's made in the waiting. It's not about the buying and the selling. It's made in the waiting, Mims. I love that.
Yeah, facts. You can't time the market. It's not about timing the market. It's time in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar cost average in. This is the whole thing. It's not that hard to understand, folks. The dollar is going to continue to lose purchasing power. And in fact, that is accelerating right now. Even if Bitcoin's going down over the long term, okay, that it is a digital asset that's going to rise in value. Okay, that is the trend. You could be looking at it right now. Yeah, it's down, but realize that it's not always going to be down. The dollar, though, is always going to be down. It's always going to be down.
Yep.
So don't hold on to dollars, get assets.
This next clip from Tim Draper, an actual billionaire, one of the all-time great investor strategists, says Bitcoin's going to 10 million.
Not only is Bitcoin against the dollar a really good bet, but you're seeing the dollar fall as fast as you're seeing Bitcoin grow. And that combination is going to, it'll hit 250,000, but it's going to hit 1 million. It's going to hit 10 million on its way to where the dollar is no longer accepted, no longer worth it. And Bitcoin is the one source of store of value and currency for the world eventually. Not only is Bitcoin
Yeah, Mims. I think one day we could see where we buy a burger for 5 Satoshis. I think that's how the future could be priced.
This is the thing about it, folks. You can pretty much throw out any number at this point, because when you have the dollar going to zero, okay, hyperinflated away, when you look throughout history and you've seen the collapse of all fiat currencies, okay, we know where this is going. And when you realize there's quadrillions of dollars out there, fiat currencies all across the planet, and they're all going away. Nobody's going to accept fiat. Nobody's trading fiat. Nobody is settling global commerce and trade in fiat. Nobody's using fiat and having it as a reserve, okay? When you talk about reserve currencies and baskets of reserve currency, fiat is not going to be included. Fiat is backed by nothing. It's paper. So even when you're looking at what is it? I'm trying to think. It's the IMF or something, and they have their basket, and they have
Basket
all
of
these different
currencies.
currencies,
Yeah.
right, to support it. It's gonna be worthless. It's gonna be worthless. So all this paper money, all these digits, they're gonna chase assets. So these assets, there is no real price discovery. That's why people throw out numbers, because we're talking about all the money in the world now moving on chain. All the money in the world being settled in digital assets, no longer in paper money. So somebody's saying, well, XRP will never go to $5. Bitcoin is never going to 1 million. They don't really understand what's happening to the system. Market cap is irrelevant. Okay, just say the same people who are saying silver is overbought. You don't understand what's going on right now.
Yeah, right.
You just don't understand. I'm seeing people, Massive Whale just tried to short. Is shorting. He put a short in
Yeah,
for
I saw
silver
that.
right now. You're crazy.
He closed it. He lost like $500 million.
Oh, he closed it.
Yeah, I already closed it.
Yeah, good, because it's going up. And if you look at the chart, if you do any kind of TNA, you can see it's getting ready to go to its next high.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's crazy work.
So last little bit here from crypto going mainstream, 60% of the top 25 US banks have launched or announced Bitcoin services like trading and custody, with JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citi among them entering the space, according to Bitcoin financial firm River. And what are they really waiting for to bring in the masses is the Clarity Act that they're meeting on Thursday for. Because trust and believe, guys, they're not going to let the price of crypto go up until they can fully profit from it. That's what they're waiting for. Then the masses come in. Then those who are early, those who took action before the masses, are the big winners.
Yeah. And make no mistake about it, they're not doing this because they want to.
No.
They want to survive. This is about survival. I think people don't really understand what's going on right now. It's about survival and extinction. You're either going to survive, extinct, or you're going to thrive. That's what we're going to do. And that's for individuals, that's for companies, and that's for government making strategic reserves in digital assets. Hence why governments are making strategic reserves in physical assets. Okay, it's about survival and thriving right now. And those who just have no clue, they just ain't gonna make it. They won't exist. That's what it's coming down to. Companies, banks, corporations, they want to continue to exist, and they realize, whether they like it or not, that this is the way the world is going. And either you hop on the train or you're gonna get left behind. And so to preserve their institutions, their companies, and whatever have you, they're buying into this space, even though they don't want to. Because make no mistake, they don't want to. They like the present system the way it is because it worked for them. It worked for them. But now they're having to decentralize and spread out the wealth and even out the playing field. They don't want that, but they can't stop it.
Yeah, essentially, the old system they know is dead, and they're trying to position themselves in the new system before the price really takes off. That's all they're doing. Because again, I totally agree with what you said, is they know they will go extinct with the old system. So they have to get some sort of foothold in the new system.
Exactly.
Now, I told you guys, I've reworked this a little bit, Mims. All right. So my assets I'm buying this year in 2026, I might do next week. Maybe we'll do a whole thing on this. It's just SAT, SATT, Silver, Avalanche, Texit, and Tau. Keeping it simple. So the first ever AVAX ETF was listed on the NASDAQ this morning. A big win for all of us. So there it is, guys. Wow. AVAX. Okay. And now let's think about this, Mims. Let's look at this. See if this makes sense, right, guys? Let's talk about price. Let's talk about value. So I'm going to pull up the AVAX chart here, and I'm going to show you guys why like this to me is when you better be paying attention, not about the hype, but about the value. So, Mims, you remember this. You were around. How long we waited for Bitcoin to get an ETF,
Yeah.
right? So this is the avalanche chart since what, 2020 or so.
Right now. Go ahead, brother. I'm
Yeah.
just buying some AVAX on crypto.com while you're talking, okay?
Yeah. No, smart man. So again, guys, this was the last bull market, euphoria. Oh, the price is going up. I'll buy more. No ETF, no mainstream adoption. The state of California is using AVAX for their DMV records. AVAX went up to $145. And you can see here, I kind of have this purple line drawn here of kind of where the bottom of the market is for AVAX. We're at $12. Basically almost the lowest it's been in its entire history. And they just got an ETF on the NASDAQ. Mims is smart. He's buying some AVAX right now.
Just
About
bought
15
15
AVAX. Let's go.
Okay. It's not a game, folks. It's not a game.
Like, where do you guys think it's going to go? Like, do you think they're going to get an ETF and it's going to go lower than it's ever gone in its history? Like, this is such a setup, right? To have these prices this low. So the normies out there who will only buy things at the top don't pay attention to what's going on, guys. And it's the same for Texit, right? Just because something's going down doesn't mean it's done. AVAX is a top 20 cryptocurrency. It's not going anywhere. Millions of users, massive adoption, and now we have the ETF coming, but the price is at the bottom.
I just bought some and I still feel I need to buy some more. Okay. Look, it's not hard, folks. It's really not. It's really not. And the thing is, it's like we just documenting the collapse. We're documenting the wealth transfer. And, we've been doing this for years. And then we're going to look back, next year, the year after, 2030, so on. And we're just going to be in a total different reality. It's going to be a total different world, total different wealth class and everything, man. It's just going to be amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, last week we talked about Chainlink and the New York Stock Exchange using them as the oracle to tokenize all stocks. They're under $12 right now, guys. They've hit 52. Other than this horrible bear market, they really haven't been lower. Under $12. I mean, there's so, guys, this is the future, right? And maybe it won't happen this year. Maybe it'll be a year or 2, 3, who knows? But you have to have conviction. You have to get educated. And the one thing I've learned about when it does hit, right, when you truly believe in something like silver, and Mims and I get on at least once a week, if not more, and we try to teach people about inflation and the Federal Reserve and why you want to have real physical assets in your possession. What I've learned, Mims, is at least I'm going to speak for myself, I should have doubled down more. I wish I would have bought more silver when it was $22, $24. And I could say the same thing about Bitcoin. And I posted Mims this week as I'm not going to say the same thing about Texit. I'm not going to say I wish I had bought more Texit. I am going to buy more Texit because I believe in it and I know the system we're building and I know what we're about to do. So that's kind of my last thing, Mims, is you have to do the research, you have to get educated, and then double down on your convictions. Because when you're right, you're always going to wish that you had bought more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still getting silver, folks. I got some in the mail. This beautiful.
Show me something.
Germania.
Ooh.
2025.
Let me pull you up big screen.
Yeah, put me up big screen, man, so people can see what's going on here. Because this is real money and it's fun and it's beautiful. I mean, seeing it like this, not even doing it justice for real. Okay. But, that just came in the mail today. I'm still buying. Got this from one of our suppliers, Quicksilver. Okay. This is rhodium plated. That's why it looks black. Got rhodium plate on there. Okay. We just never stop, folks. It's just a way of living. Okay.
Yep.
It's a habitual way of living where you acquire assets. You convert dollars, which is a liability, into assets, real money, physical
That's
silver.
simple.
That's it. It's not hard. It's not hard. So we're going to continue to win. We hope you winning. Like this out, share this out. 2026 is going to be wild. I think the reset is full blown 2026. Okay. We're in full blown reset 2026. War is going to accelerate things. Obviously, you see these digital assets are down because they're still in the investment category and there's still uncertainty. But it won't always be that way. And the risk off assets are gold and silver. And that's why we're seeing gold and silver take off, because there's a lot of risk out there right now. And we don't, most people don't want to be exposed to that. You want the safety when it comes to the value of your assets. We're not chasing gains. You know, banks and institutions are not chasing gains when they're buying silver and gold. That's not what the game is about.
Right.
You don't see gold and silver rising like this because people are trying to make money. No. It's a totally different narrative taking place right now. And you need to understand what this means, and so you can prepare, because your reality is going to be very, very different than what you're experiencing right now. And you just want to make sure that you're prepared and hedged and diversified the best way that you can, because it's going to get worse before it gets better.
100%. Couldn't agree more. We'll leave it at that. Keep getting assets, guys. Get ready for the Clarity Act and crypto to go mainstream. Get there first so you can profit the most. We'll see you guys next week. Lace up. We are wealthy.